Rojo in the defense, anyone that could just replace him. And now he's literally just a forgotten man. So those are my two.
I can hear that. My two is, I'll firstly start at home. Old John Mabizela. My brother makes his debut against Leicester. Kicks a banger. Now that's a tight Tottenham jersey. He stretches it out. Lord knows when, I haven't seen him afterwards. He's still probably stretching it out, or whichever. Old John Mabizela. Second, Philip Senderos. It reeks of shit. It stinks. Putrid. Every time he saw Drogba, Nagmerries. He hasn't been the same since. I'll leave it at that.
I am the one. Everybody duck. My pawns on my echo wood, then a loaded gun. I don't need to stun, cause I am the one. I do this for fun, I do this for fun. I am the one, I am the one.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to, I would say another pre-record. It's not a live stream, so it's just a new video. We figured, you know what, we'd bring something to you guys. You guys did want to see this collaboration, and we figured what better topic than, I think both our clubs have one thing in common: youngsters, young talent.
Yeah, we do.
So we figured, let's bring you a video that says what are the biggest flop wonder kids in football in our terms. So before we get into it, allow me to introduce my guest, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Total Title. What are you saying, my brother? How you been?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm just excited to get into this topic with you. Because you must know, this is the kind of stuff we can talk days about. And the main thing that we want to do today, guys, we want to make sure that this is going to be a full-on discussion, but also we're going to be comparing our teams. So what you guys can do is you guys can go down in the comments and you guys can let us know what do you think is the best, and do you think there's anyone that we could have swapped our players with? Like, do you think we were being a bit harsh on some of these people, or do you think it's justified? Because this is our personal opinion, so don't attack us too much.
I can tell you there are going to be some harsh names already. So how it works is, what we're going to do, before we get into that, link to Total Tide Talks is in the description of this video. Before we do anything, like, share and subscribe. Slap a like and subscribe immediately. But how it works is, there's going to be a draft style. So if you've ever seen a draft, NBA, I think NFL also does it as well. I'm sorry. And WWE do it as well. So Tyrant's going to draft his 11, and I'm going to draft my 11 of failed wonder kids. But again, like you said, you guys can let us know. Ty, I'll let you start, my brother. You don't have to start with goalkeeper. You can start any position.
Okay.
First and foremost, what formation are you picking?
So for my formation, I'm going for the tried and tested, the 4-3-3. Okay. It's the one that you can't go wrong with, and it's the formation my team picks. So it's the easiest one to fit into.
Same. Exactly the same here. So, who's your first draft pick?
My first one. Ooh, this is one that, you know what? You said I can't start with the goalkeeper, but you know what? I like to keep the recency in now. Okay. So why not go off for the goalkeeper? Okay. I have to go for one that I think a lot of people might get triggered by, but it's one that I feel this is a guy that. It's not just what people were saying about him, but it's more what he was saying about himself. He was putting himself on this level. And I have to go for Dean Henderson at United.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with him.
Because the thing with Dean Henderson was, if David De Gea is at the club and you are coming forward and saying, I should be starting at this club, you looking for clubs and stuff to move to, and you feeling that Nottingham Forest isn't on your level, you're looking for bigger, you want to play in the Champions League and all the stuff, you go out on loan, you don't necessarily impress other than a couple of saves here and there. Now you're coming back to United, and the first thing the club wants to do is get rid of you. They don't even give you the chance. Now that De Gea is gone, they go and sign Andre Onana instead.
Exactly.
Honestly,
and they're even looking at a number 2 already. So
exactly. So I think it's a bit harsh knowing that he can still make it up. But if we are talking about someone that is flopping at this point in time, it's Dean Henderson for me.
I'll agree with that one. I'm going to keep it with your same format. I don't want to confuse you too much. My goalkeeper and a lot of my team has something to do with Arsenal.
Okay.
Everything has to do with Arsenal. either Arsenal player or you must have hurt Arsenal in some weird formal way. So my thing is personal. I don't care. I have a thick skin. I don't care. First one for me. This Italian goalkeeper came on the scene.
You speak of Arsenal, I know what he is.
You know what I'm talking about? This guy was a bad boy. And I liked him, honestly. Like, one game against Fulham.
What's his debut against West Ham?
That was the game that killed him, and then he flopped, and Wenger said, you know what, let me bring the bald guy in. Vito Bloodclot Manoni. He stinks. That's my choice. Done.
I get it. He made a move to Sunderland still after Arsenal, and that was where he thought he was going to bring his career back up.
He went to Sunderland and he caught on shit. There was, I think he caught 7 as well there as well.
That was bad. That was really bad.
Pathetic.
Okay. So now, the next position.
2 centre-backs. Give me your 2 centre-backs then.
My 2 centre-backs. Ooh, this is... Okay, funny enough, I think this is something a lot of people's going to agree with. 2 centre-backs I went for is Davinson Sanchez, currently at Tottenham. And the other one is the forgotten man, Phil Jones. So the reason why I went for those 2 is literally just because of the fact that they were hyped to the moon and back. If you look at these 2 and you look at them in the early 2010s, they were basically supposed to be Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand's level.
Phil Jones definitely.
That's the thing.
Phil Jones definitely.
Same with Davinson Sanchez. Remember when he was breaking through at Ajax? It was the exact same level as Matthias de Ligt. He was the first original de Ligt. The ball-playing centre-back, no-nonsense defender that everyone was talking about, linked with Barcelona, linked with Real Madrid, overpriced. We didn't want to pay the amount for him. He stayed 1 extra season. He decided, okay, let me go to Tottenham. And that's where it all went down. He's never, ever, ever looked like a player that was worth the price. He's never, ever looked like someone that was ever considered one of the best defenders in the Premier League. And realistically now, Tottenham are looking to offload him. Napoli has been interested, but Napoli even pulled out the deal because of the fact that his wages was too high.
Exactly.
So he's in a tough situation, and it's even worse for Phil Jones.
100%.
Because I think the problem was he came into United, he couldn't handle the pressure at United, and then on top of it also, what added to that pressure was the fact that he came in with that slogan of Ferguson on his back, where it's like, this is my chosen defender. He came in, performed really well in his first season. There was always that error, that face that he made. Yeah, exactly. But the problem was he could never ever cement himself in the United team. And the fact that United went since he was there, they went and signed 14 other defenders.
As well.
They went as far as trying to get Rojo in the defense, anyone that could just replace him. And now he's literally just a forgotten man. So those are my 2.
I can hear that. My 2 is, I'll firstly start at home. Old John Mabizela. My brother makes his debut against Leicester. Kicks a banger. Now that's a tight Tottenham jersey. He stretches it out. Lord knows when. I haven't seen him afterwards. He's still probably stretching it out, or whichever. Old John Mabizela. Secondly, Philip Senderos.
Ooh,
It reeks of shit. It stinks. Putrid. Every time he saw Drogba, nightmares. He hasn't been the same since. I'll leave it at that.
I can totally agree with those 2.
Your 2 wingbacks?
2 wingbacks. The one man is one of the most respected pundits around for his smile and his laugh and everything, but we can't deny the fact that he's a failed wonder kid. That is Micah Richards.
Yeah.
And the other one is someone that was also overhyped at too young of an age. Then when it was his opportunity to step up, he failed, and I'm going to go with Kieran Gibbs. Because Kieran Gibbs, I'm going towards Arsenal for you.
No, I agree with that also. Because wasn't he the next one after Clichy left, right?
Clichy was supposed to be the one to take over from Ashley Cole. He was like, okay, this is the born-bred next Ashley Cole. Clichy never lived up to that hype. And they never lived up to the hype. Then all of a sudden it's Gibbs now. Now it's like, okay, we can fill this position. Clichy's gone, he's going to City. We can fill this with Kieran Gibbs. But now at the end of the day, the man is literally only remembered for being mistaken for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's all. If that's what your entire career is known for, then that's bad. And then with Micah Richards, unfortunately, he's known for being the man who burst onto the scene. The man who decided to take his career seriously.
Powerful.
And that's the...
Pace. Power.
There was something about him when he started in that City team. And I mean, I'll give him credit. When he started in the City team, they were really in that process of becoming the city that we are, that we know today. And he was powerful, extremely fast, could bomb down the wings. But that's the problem. He exploded onto the scene and he could never ever top that. He came in like on FIFA at the 78, but he never ever went above that. He never ever became that player that you thought, okay, he's definitely going to make a move to a bigger club anywhere. It always felt like that average City team was his level. And that's why when he decided to move and he went to Fiorentina, he flopped.
No,
and that's
exactly.
why he ended up going to Aston Villa and he flopped. And then it's like just, okay, now I'm just going to retire.
It's a better pundit though, it's a good pundit.
Much better pundit.
Let's give Mika some credit for his punditry. Left back as well. Both my wing backs are Arsenal wing backs.
Oh, of course.
Armand Traore is my left back.
That's just after getting
Armand, this guy burst onto the scene, full of speed, gas. I remember him playing in a Berkham testimonial, and they even said that he was 16 years of age and he lifted the strongest in terms of bench pressing and the strongest weights.
How does that hype up a player?
Lord only knows where he is at now, but I always thought he was a rubbish number one. And right back, my personal favorite, Hector Gonzalez Bellerin. Bellerin.
Okay.
You know why?
Bad for that one, but yeah.
Burst onto the scene again, speed, one knee injury. Afterwards, it's like he looks more like the Craze Brothers, looks like in EastEnders. That's what he looks like right now.
He's actually exactly like Micah Richards in a way, because also when he came onto the scene, he was at the level, he never ever went above that. It was always the exact same player all the years.
Do you want to know?
He started getting slower.
Do you want to know what's the worst part about him? There's actually a compilation of him committing foul throws left, right and center. What defender has that? You know, it's the one thing that pisses me off about the professional foul throws. There's like 5 of them.
It's when you're more focused on your modelling job that you're going to go for afterwards.
Oh my God.
This activism thing that you want to do.
Do you think he's a bitchy sass? Do you think he's a bitchy sass? Do you think he's a
it's not my place to say.
Allegedly.
I mean, he made a move to Real Betis now, so I'm hoping for the best of the man. I was always a fan of Bellerin. So
say no more. Anyway, let's come to your midfield. You can decide if you want to go with your 2 or your 3 or however you want to go.
I decided to go 1 defensive mid, 2 attacking midfielders. I like a bit of flair in my attack. Okay. So do you want me to say all 3 or do you just want me to go 1 at a time?
Your choice, pick whichever way you want to go.
Okay, so you know what, I'll give you all 3. So mine is, as the defensive mid, I was like, okay, who can hold this midfield for me, but at the same time still is considered to be a failed wonder kid. I went for Jackie Wilshere, because at the end of the day, it's sad because everyone can admit that it was injuries that killed his career, but realistically, if you were hyped up to the point where you were saying
he passed Barca, Iniesta, Xavi and those men,
I personally feel that could have been one of the worst things that happened to him, because ever since that
hype
they were comparing him to that. They were saying he was going to be the English Xavi, and that's the problem for me there. Then if you're going to 2 attacking midfielders, these are 2 that personally I feel the worst for, because these were, when they were coming up, I honestly loved these 2 players. That was Ross Barkley and Hashim Mastour. So for some viewers, they're not going to remember Mastour because he was only there for, he was literally only on the scene for a year.
By AC? Is that the guy? By AC Milan. By AC Milan. Yeah, Seedorf rated him highly.
Now you need to remember. No, that was Maldini. Everyone they actually said that he was gonna take over from Kaka at the team. That's the hype that he was getting. He was 15 years old and he was already put into the first team. He made his debut at, I'm not sure it was 15 or 16, but he made his debut at such a young age. Then he made his debut, let's say 15 or 16. By the time he was 19, he was loaned out 3 times. His contract got terminated. Now I think he's 24 years old. And he's playing in the, if I'm not mistaken, he's playing, I can't remember where he's playing. I think he's playing in the 3rd division of Italy or something.
Yeah, he's playing in the 3rd division.
That's my problem with it. It's like, he started off, and he's my example of a player that if I've ever seen someone that's career got ruined by social media, that's him. Because being hyped up at that age, being taken to Red Bull events with Neymar, you meeting Ronaldinho and you personally doing videos with Ronaldinho, but then at the end of the day, when it came to actually putting in the work, to actually improving his game, he never did that. When he was on loan at Malaga, the coach only gave him 1 game the entire season, and the coach's words was the fact that he was never motivated to train. So he kind of felt kind of like a version of Eden Hazard, but the difference is Eden Hazard had the skill to back it up.
He had the skill and he had credit in the bank also before as well.
So that's my problem. And then when you come onto Ross Barkley,
sus.
He was supposed to be Rooney.
It stinks of
That was supposed to be Rooney. When he came on, it was exactly like when Rooney burst onto the scene. It was an Englishman playing in the midfield, hitting shots left, right, and centre. Too much power. You can't take it down. He runs past you. Funny enough, yeah, that was and he was one of the best players in that Everton team when he came up. But unfortunately, he just couldn't keep it going. He couldn't stay consistent over the years. And now, look at where the man is.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's a wasted career, honestly.
So,
that's my thing. What about you?
I'll agree with it, but so you playing with the 1 and the 2 like that. I'm playing with a flat 3.
Okay.
And then I'm playing with 1 striker behind the 2 like I play on FIFA. Exactly. Okay. So my flat 3 is William Carvalho, number 1.
Good one.
Jack. You got Ross Barkley, no?
Yeah.
Jack Rodwell is my other one.
Ah, good one.
And the last one is the third one of my 3, my personal favorite. Royston Drenthe.
Oh, that's a good one.
That 3.
That's a good one.
That says it all. Carvalho, Euro, we were linked with him left, right and center. I was gassed when I was like, yo, we're going to sign this guy. Still hasn't lived up to the hype. Jack Rodwell, we all know what's happening there. Drenthe, an outstanding Euro. And his team of that team is also in this team of mine.
When he started breaking onto when Drenthe broke onto the scene and he was at Real Madrid, when he made the move to Real Madrid, he played kind of like a mixture of Camavinga as a left back now,
exactly,
and a bit of that Vinicius Junior.
Exactly.
So fast.
But then you end up at Everton. You go from Real Madrid to Everton. You end up at Everton. And
the funniest part was you could still see flashes when he was at Everton. You could see there was something there, but
Did you see what Tim Howard said? Like, he used to come to the training drunk and that stuff, and he was just a party guy. So Drenthe, that's my 3. You come into your 3, your front 3. This is where it get tasty.
Okay, now since you decided to pick all these Arsenal players, how can I not pick an ex-Barca player? My right wing. This is one that really made me sad.
Are you playing with 2 wide and 1?
2 wide and 1.
Okay.
So starting with the right wing, one that really made me sad because of the fact that he had everything to become one of the best footballers on earth. He was gifted in the sense of he has the physicality, has the speed, he has the natural skill, he has the stamina to last, but he could never ever find consistency. He couldn't finish, and it just honestly to me feels like he never worked on the weaknesses in his game, and it's Adama Traore.
Oh, Mr. Babywell.
Yeah.
Shocking.
When he
disgusting.
When he came back to Barca, I was the only person that was hoping that he would shine, because I thought this is the kind of player that we need now. We need someone that can just come on.
Wolves now, he's just so cocky. You have no in, brother.
Yeah, now he's kind of free agent. No clubs next to his name, and he's being linked now with from Galatasaray and also a couple of moves in Saudi Arabia.
No, I'll go Saudi. Take the money. Go Saudi.
So he's my right wing. For the left wing, I went for Bebe, the United flop.
Would you say he was started as a wonder kid though, or was it maybe the story rather?
It's the story, but also technically he was actually seen as a youngster coming onto the scene at United, but it was more the story, and I think also the fact that the story is what brought people into it. I mean, if you're coming to United, you kind of have to have something that's coming with you. That story just ruined his career for the worst, for all the worst reasons. Coming from a homeless league, scoring 30 in a tournament, and that now coming to United, and then you're hearing stuff about he's the only player that Ferguson has never ever seen play before signing him. All of that stuff, it put too much pressure on a new player coming into United. And everyone knows, if you're coming into United, you're going to struggle. Then it's a left-wing position that United was trying to fill, that they were trying to make the most of. He comes in and he can't do it. So unfortunately, it has to be Bebe, because if you're going from United to now playing for Real Zaragoza in the second division of Spain, it's a flop in my eyes. And my main striker is, whenever people ask me who's the wonder kid that failed the most in your eyes, it has to be this, because when I started watching football, it was his era. And I'm not going to tell you a word of a lie. The two favorite players in the team was this guy and Messi. It was the beautiful partnership between the two of them, and that was Bojan.
Bojan. Yo,
Bojan.
I knew you were going to say Bojan.
Young fans.
They were touting him as the next one to take over from Messi,
You
right?
do not understand how good he was. He was a player that had no strength, but for some reason you can't push him off a ball. He didn't look fast, but at the same time he can outrun you. And his finishing, he had those soft touch finishes. Like you don't just see shots from outside the box.
Exactly.
He'll come one-on-one with you. The keeper's making a dive. He just taps it over the arm. He was an amazing player, but at the same time, after there was a lot of stories that came out about the fact that he was dealing with some mental issues, and it was also the fact that he was suffering from depression at a certain point in his career because it was way too much at too young of an age. Whereas Messi could at least throw himself back and actually still process all of it.
Of course.
Bojan was then seen, okay, we have this kid Messi, okay, now can I put up? Bojan's going to be there right with him. Bojan's going to be part of this. And also, unfortunately, that was also the period at Barca where we were actually the best in the world.
Exactly.
So when he was there, it was like every season,
Exactly.
we're going to make it to the final of the Champions League, we're going to compete.
And
So
I mean, look at
that's
the
when
players
exactly-
also were just Bolton. You signed Alexis Sanchez also
Yeah.
afterwards. Neymar also came in, Suarez, that whole
And then it was loan moves that didn't work.
Pedrito was also there that time as well.
When
so.
he was there, it was Eto'o up front, and then the season where he really shined was the season when we actually signed Ibrahimovic, because Ibrahimovic came in.
Another one,
wasn't
yeah,
shining.
Ibra also came in, yeah, exactly.
Wasn't shining at all.
Exactly.
And then who do you think they played up front? They put
They put
Bojan
Bojan
up
up front.
And I mean, this was a youngster compared to Bojan, compared to Ibrahimovic, and I think that season he got 16 goals. From being a bench, from literally being a bench option.
the bench,
Then
yeah.
they're like, okay, now let's put him starting 11. Let's say him
100%.
play. So that's my theory. Damatraoui, Bebe, and Bojan. What about yours?
Mine, again, I'll start with my number 10. Now there are some honorable mentions here.
Yeah, that's more
There's some honorable mentions which I'm leaving out. Number 1 is Adnan Januzaj.
Yeah.
That's one. There's Gabriel Obertan as well.
Being a lot of United players.
Yeah. I told you it's personal. It's personal, yeah. We're dealing in personal stuff. Ryan Babel is another one. There's another one. It was very close. I was torn between Ryan Babel, but because of my hatred for Tottenham, I'm putting in this one guy. He scored this beautiful chipper against Middlesbrough in our unbeaten season. They touted him as the next Bergkamp. He went across to the lane, he came to the Emirates and he scored a goal from a halfway line in a 4-4 draw. David Bentley. I haven't forgotten him and I won't ever forgive him. I haven't. So he's my number 10. My 2 up front. Now, one went on to win the league. I'll save the last one, which is like, I'll save that one specially. But my 2 up front, number 1 is Mario Balotelli.
Oh.
That's my number 1. That's my one striker.
okay.
We all know because he was like touted as like the next one that's gonna win Ballon d'Or. Like
He won his own career.
His ego and everything. I know he won the league at City, but he pushed it all away.
Yeah.
My last one, my personal favorite, the young blood, the king, the youngster of all youngsters. He was in the JoJo music video. He was on Leave, Get Out, and then JoJo broke up with him and said, "Leave, get out." Freddie Adu. That's my last one, my 2.
He's the biggest.
He is
example.
the biggest one for
Real
me.
good.
Like, I couldn't leave him out. That's why there's some honorable mentions.
That's the problem with football, unfortunately. It's like really putting too much pressure on a player from a
So young, and like, he was like 14 in the fucking, like, USA team already.
It hurts you. It honestly hurts you.
It hurts you, so that's my team.
You can actually put a lot of credit on names like players like Saka, and then because like Saka, Pedri, Gavi, even now Musiala. Saka
Exactly.
missed the penalty, and he doesn't seem like that affected him at all.
Exactly.
But then there's
That made him
players that
stronger.
like, it really hurts you, like
Exactly.
being touted. I mean, Saka came into Arsenal being a teenager and then stole the show. starting 11 and everything, and I mean he's still just growing. So it's like just the mentality of a lot of the youngsters of today. It's totally different to back then, and I think that actually just shows where football is today.
Exactly.
But a lot of my players basically comes from all the same era.
Exactly. I have a lot more that I could have mentioned, but obviously, like you said, we're gonna do this again.
I was gonna go for like a charisma also.
I also wanted to go for a charisma because he was like the Pro Evolution Soccer guy.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was the guy for all the skills and stuff. Like
Exactly.
I remember everyone back in the day.
You know the compilation.
You throw Ronaldo on the left, you throw him on the right, and that was it. He was the one that I was in love for. I was at one point also thinking about Nani, just because Nani was touted as being the replacement for Ronaldo.
I think Nani had an okay career.
Yeah, he had an okay career.
He had a nice career.
I just think based on the level what people put him at, that's what.
Yeah, but if you go in United players, and I can say Anderson, Kleberson also.
Yeah, I was gonna go for Shagrinsky in the Barca defense because I was gonna go for Samuel Umtiti, but then I thought, you know what, it's also bad.
Vincent Bora, that guy also was titled as
another one none of us mentioned was Hatim Ben Arfa.
Hatim Ben Arfa as well.
Then with him, I was thinking about Adelta Rapt. I was thinking about a couple of players.
Adelta Rapt as well. That is a good
shot. They were the people who started these states will never forget us. That was
exactly.
But unfortunately, that's my team.
Hey, but yeah, people, that comes to the end of the show. Let us know if there's anything of course, there's anybody that we left out. If you disagree, please leave it in the comments. Ty, you want to close us up?
Yeah, so guys, like the main man Devin said, if there's anyone that you guys would have added to this, who is it? Let us know down in the comments. And you know what? If you guys have the time to spare, give us your 11 of failed Wonder Kids. People who just never ever lived up to the hype. And I promise you, this is going to be something that Devin and I are trying out, but we're actually going to be bringing you a lot more content like this. So if you guys want to see that also, then just give, then just give a little comment at the bottom and just say, yes, we want to see this. Just put something funny and put some football emojis and stuff in that. But guys, that's it from us.
That's it. Love for the love, my brother.
It was awesome.
Thank you. It was awesome. It was lovely. Man. That's it. It's DVD. It's total time. And we are out of here. Bless.
I am the one. Everybody duck. My puns on my Echowood, then a loaded gun. I don't need to stun, cause I am the one. I do this for fun, I am the one, I am the